What's good, YouTube? Steel here, and today's video is one that's been a long time coming, mainly because as soon as this deck burst into the scene, I wanted to make a video on it. However, I wasn't able to complete my Origin Forme playset until today, thus why you're seeing the video now. But quite honestly, I do believe it's better late than never. And with this small and overlooked addition to the deck, I truly believe this version of Palkia lands itself very securely in the top 3 decks of the format. And although it requires no introduction, let's break down Palkia EX, which is a 150 HP water Pokemon that for 1 energy is doing 30 damage, which is very respectable. However, the game plan does not change. The main idea for Palkia is to build up that dimensional storm and try to hit your opponent with as many as possible if one doesn't just deal the final blow. And just like with all decks from the past format, Palkia decks outside of the 18 trainer continue to have Manaphy as their right hand. Manaphy's ability to take damage in the front while you're building up the backline continues to be the best start for this deck, as you ideally want to go second, start Manaphy, and just build up as many Palkias as you can. The new addition from Triumphant Light that really put this deck to the next level, although like I mentioned on paper seems almost irrelevant, was Origin Forme Palkia, and in practice it's clear to see why it makes such a difference, as most games lead to Manaphy dropping early, and being able to follow it up with a 1-point Palkia gives the deck a sense of versatility and resilience. The other new addition from Triumphant Light is Irida, a new support that heals 40 damage from all your Pokemon as long as they have water energy attached. It still goes without saying that you run Misty in this deck, as there's no reason not to play a card that every now and then says auto win. The rest of the deck falls under preference, as I'm a big fan of the 1/1 Sabrina Cyrus line. I opted for 1 leaf because I wanted to up the count of tools, as I truly believe Cape is a very important card to have this format, whether it's to make Manaphy have the 70 HP or have Palkia survive other big hits in the format, including the mirror. But I didn't want to cut Helmet, as it's one of the best answers to your opponent's Cape that tend to put their biggest threats outside of the range of Dimensional Storm. Overall, Palkia EX continues to be a powerhouse, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. If you enjoyed the video or are interested in all things Pokemon Pocket, please consider liking and subscribing, and above all else, stay pro. Alright, we get to go first against Fighting. Not an ideal start, but honestly, if we hit Misty on the Origin Form, I wouldn't mind. As well as we could always, like, if we see also this is also, I guess this is a better start than the alternative, right? Let's go Misty here. Okay, do we get to 3? No, okay. That's fine. But yeah, this is ideal in terms of like I'd rather this start than the EX, right? Because Sudowoodo 3-shots that. Let's just pass there. 2 heads would have been perfect, because that means next turn we were swinging, and obviously 3 would have just been game breaking. However, we do have the ability to 1 heal with Irida, 2 switch Leaf, like Leaf away the Pokemon at any point. Interesting that they're on Gibble. Interesting that they would decide to swing with Sudowoodo. Granted, they could then build up Marshadow here, right? So they have the option to that. Let's go research. We technically, I'll hold off on Manaphy really. Let's just put energy here. They're gonna hit us for 20. We'll heal with Irida, and then we're in a pretty good spot. Let's just pass turn there. Okay, there's the Gabite. Okay, so they're building for Marshadow. Luckily, Irida does completely ignore that for the most part, but we're not exactly safe, right? Because Marshadow's gonna hit for 100. Okay, this Pokeball could be huge for us. Let's go Pokeball here. Palkia. So yeah, the backup line is pretty set in stone now. Let's just go heal so that the Marshadow can't knock us out. And just get the knockout. Luckily it didn't matter this time. Hopefully we start getting some heads afterwards, so that we get to one-shot the Marshadow, potentially Gabite if it doesn't evolve. We could try to do that as well. Like if they don't evolve into Garchomp, we could try to do like a Sabrina play. Although if they swing with Marshadow, it does put us in a position where we get to knock out the Marshadow thanks to the helmet. So let's see what they decide to do. Oof, that Garchomp's art is amazing. Alright, yeah. I think we just easily take the Marshadow down and then start trying to build up with Manaphy after the fact. Let's go Palkia. We're definitely putting the energy on Palkia. The question is, do we go Manaphy? I think we hold off on Manaphy, because then we could just leap into the ramp there. Oh, this does put him on like decisions. Because we could Manaphy, put Cape on Manaphy, kind of like make him think a few and hold Leaf for like a different situation. Yeah, let's do that instead. We could even get aggressive and go Sabrina here. And just ignore Marshadow altogether, right? And just play for the Garchomp knockout. It might be a little crazy, but I think that's the play. Since Garchomp is gonna be worth 2 points anyways, and we gotta knock it out eventually, might as well force it now. Deal the 60 damage minimum. We could even go up to 120 if this hits heads. Yeah, that's beautiful. And now they got decisions to make, whether they want to back up the Garchomp or whether they want to knock out. If they go for the Palkia, the Origin Forme, we knock them out with the backup Palkia. If they go for Manaphy, they don't get a knockout at all. They could be on Potion. They could be on Cape. Those are certain things that let them play a little freer. Yeah, so Cape lets them play a little more, like, have more of a breather here. Okay, none of this really matters. I could be wrong though. Like, those might be like my famous last words type of thing. Alright, decide to back up there. Realistically, now we have the option of going... Let's go here. I don't think there's a right or wrong, especially since at any point we could just drag that out with Cyrus. And now that we drew the Origin Forme, I feel even better. And we were able to hold off with Leaf due to the way we played it out, where we didn't get too aggressive with the Manaphy ramp. Yeah, the good thing is that even if they drew like double potion, this Garchomp's never like winning them the game. Yeah, our win condition is quite clear, and they have no way of like forcing it out here. There's Misty. Misty could actually no, Misty can't end the game right now. Like, for obvious reasons. However, it could make it interesting. So let's just do Misty here. And if it works, yeah, okay, it didn't make a difference. Our play is still this. Had it missed, I mean, had it hit, we could have gone like into the Palkia to deal pressure and make him play like awkwardly, but the game plan was always this. And we're just gonna Cyrus out the Garchomp, so there's no stress or no issues here. Yeah, that's just game. There's like multiple ways, like different ways we could have played it, I guess. But since we had the Sabrina Cyrus play since like so many turns ago, we had been playing the whole time knowing we had this option. So we played knowing that that was like the end game. Like, so we were able to throw away stuff like Manaphy and try to like sneak a hit here with the Palkia and such. But yeah, let's just take our 2 points here. And that's GG on the Garchomp deck. Which, I think Palkia has such a good matchup against fighting. Especially, even if they start Sudowoodo, you're not ideally starting with your EX out front. So it's just, it's so popular. And it has a fighting chance against the Alga. I think that's what makes this deck so good in the long run. Or like, in general. Alright, we're going first. Against Well, we just see Metal Energy. We could assume it's the Dialga deck, but only time will tell, right? Unfortunately, we did not open on Manaphy, because Manaphy with the Misty could be interesting. However, if this Misty hits multiple heads here, this Palkia could start taking over very quick, very soon. Also, them opening Arceus is pretty fine for us. We don't mind that at all. Let's go Pokeball here. Okay, another Palkia. So, no doubt that we're going to do this. Honestly, I wouldn't mind 3. 2 would be cool too. All right, we almost started swinging turn frame 1, but 2 is fine because now we're swinging next turn, and we'll hold this in hand because we don't want to like throw away the advantage Misty gave us by just giving them something to Sabrina out. Yeah, and this is why clearly the Arceus Dialga deck is the better deck, but this is cards like Misty and the fact that we're throwing 1-pointers early is why this deck is viable to begin with. Is that it gives you get a winning chance out of nowhere, like other decks don't have access to. That's why this deck isn't like the best deck, but it's up there, you know? Now, depending on where they commit this energy is what we'll decide to do. Helmet. Okay, now that completely decided what we're gonna do, we're just gonna Sabrina out the Arceus and try to knock that out. We'll hold the research and everything, we don't mind. Yeah, just too much value. Especially if we get 1 heads, then the Cyrus immediately becomes relevant. Yeah, once again we're holding the backup Palkia here. Unfortunate because now they have the ability to back up the Arceus, back it out, and we can't guarantee a knockout with the Cyrus. However, if they don't have Leaf and they're forced to hard swap the Arceus, energy-wise, we're just way too ahead. Let's see what they do. They have Potion. Okay, so they're... Okay. Wait, no, the Adamant does do absolutely nothing for them. If we get heads, we just knock out the Arceus. Okay, so it comes down to this. They are top decking. At most damage they're doing right now is 110, so they would have to top deck a Pokemon. So we definitely go research. So that's step 1. Alright, they do cap out at 130, right? So we're even better. We're better situated than we think, right? We could put down this Palkia, this Manaphy. Could put energy down on this Palkia. The debate here is whether we go Helmet or Cape. I think I'm going Helmet. Because if we get heads here, it's basically the game's over. So I guess Helmet was incorrect. I was doing some math in my head as if it was like, if they were like full HP. There was no reason to do Helmet there. Cape was definitely better, so that now even if they top deck a Pokemon, they don't get the knockout. Not that now here, they get the potential knockout. Yeah, that was a complete blunder. And maybe we don't get punished immediately. And I should have assumed we were going to get punished immediately. That's just poor play from my side. I can't even defend it if I wanted to. The Cape would have made it where they literally couldn't knock out this Palkia. It would have been at 140. He maxed out at 130. As his top deck, although top decking research is also some crazy stuff, but we really got him thinking here. For some reason. Realistically, this is like the obvious play. Alright, so yeah, that's completely my fault. I should have just caped. And I wonder what they would have done otherwise, like, to follow that up. Had it been cape instead. But let's go Palkia here. Clearly charged with Manaphy. No reason to cape as they clearly wiped the board with that. I guess we could learn from our mistakes and cape this one. That way if they Sabrina, we don't lose a Pokemon. Yeah, it's just, it was so poorly played from my side, but live and learn, I guess. Now they're going to be able to build up a back row. Also, I realized they did add him in when their Pokemon was Arceus. And I could... Like, it literally was doing nothing. This is actually probably like best case scenario for us. Because our Manaphy lives an extra turn. I think it's worth the risk. Like assuming that they're not going to draw the potion or a cape off the top for this Arceus is probably the ideal play. It's definitely our chance to win here and make up for the mistake we did, which was not caping the initial Palkia or the Origin Forme Palkia. So this whole game is just trying to make up for that. But the fact that we can make up for that shows the resilience of this deck, in my opinion. Let's see what they do. Clearly, ideally, they'll go Dialga, ramp into something here. They're gonna wish they had kept the Adamant, really. Okay, yeah, so that's game over. GG's. I'm surprised they didn't, like... They played it out, because... Literally just... There's no way around us winning right here. We just swap into Dialga, Dimensional Storm, and it's game. And it came from... Although we did miss the early on, and we did misplay, the deck is strong enough to, like, make up for it, I guess, is the way to look at it. Not my best showing, but it does show the strength of the deck being able to beat the best deck. Alright, going first against potentially the best deck. That's all I could say. Unfortunate start for us, but we'll see. They do in fact start with their own Dialga. Well, not their own Dialga. With a Dialga. Because we don't have... Okay, double Pokeball is fine. But without Leaf, which I guess is the punishment to only playing one Leaf, that's like... We don't really get to do much about these Pokeballs. So we could also just do this. This plays around Sabrina technically. It might even bait him to use Sabrina. I don't know. It's just an awkward start for us altogether, unless we draw Leaf at some point. Otherwise, well, them going second already gives them an advantage somewhat. Let's see here. No Leaf, but can we make the most of it? Not really. I guess we could keep this Palkia as excuse me. This Palkia as a wall, or we could start building it up. Technically, it would be one energy. They go two. They start building it up. Now let's just start quietly building up the Palkia back here, and just pass. Another Dialga. Yeah, this is not looking too good for us, but we didn't have much control over the situation, right? Okay, there's the Leaf, which we will in fact use. Alright, it technically heals everybody to full, so let's keep the board as is. We don't need to reveal. Actually, do we just want to build up as many Palkias as possible? Probably. Yeah, let's do this instead. For better or for worse, of course. Back to this, I guess. Helmet doesn't change anything. If anything, it makes it where the Alga could guarantee knock this out. I mean, Palkia could knock out the Alga guaranteed. No issues. So somewhat a mistake from their end, if you think about it. Set that up. Clearly, we're going to go Palkia into Manaphy into our EXs, so no problem here so far. It's past turn. Okay, they're going for the knockout, which makes sense. There's no reason for them not to do this. However, this is beautiful. We'll go cape here. Just in case there's some other kind of Sabrina play, we'll put the secondary Palkia here, the other Origin Form here, to throw into the under the bus if necessary. All right, so here's the way this is gonna play out. If next turn they don't put it down, yeah, let's do it like that. If next turn they don't place down Arceus or anything, if they just stay with their double Dialga and don't put cape on this, we win the game outright. There's no way for them to out this if they don't cape here or put another Pokemon down. And it's not even close. Like, the game's over because this Dialga is stuck at 150. I guess if they're playing Adamant, that somehow would win them the game. Okay, there you go. That I can't play around. What we can play around is the fact that Dialga can't deal more than 100 damage. So I guess that's also a workaround. Okay, that Manaphy is just a liability at this point. And the reason we're going 5 here is because we're going to be able to do, like, hit him with Dimensional Storm, go down to 2 energy. Then we put the 4th energy on the backup Palkia and swap them around, if that makes sense. Like, the only way we could storm back to back is if it's doing it this way. Because if we put both of them at 4, we wouldn't be able to retreat. I guess, actually, I don't know what I'm saying. Hold up, let me rewind that in my own head. Technically, the outcome is the same, actually. Never mind. Now they're forced to have, like, a potion or something. Again, and then the other... Yeah, the end result was the same regardless of how we spread out the energy there. I guess this way puts us closer to having the Palkia be able to swing again. Is, like, the bright side about it. I don't know. They need potion, otherwise this swing for 100 isn't enough to win the game. Have they used any potions? No, they haven't. So... Okay, so that's... I guess that's admitting defeat. Yeah, okay, so... The best part about this deck is the fact that it could compete against the best deck. I'm aware that they didn't necessarily have the best hand. They weren't able to build up Arceus. I'm not saying this deck is better than the best deck in the game. There's a reason why Arceus Dialga is winning, like, almost every tournament. If it doesn't get hard countered by a Lucario matchup. The reason Palkia is live is because not only can it compete against the best deck, it's basically the Charizard of this format, if that makes sense. If you look at Genetic Apex, I would say Dialga is the Mewtwo, Lucario fighting is the Pikachu, and then you have your Charizard in the tournament, in the big 3 of the decks.